Zurich International School is one of the few schools that organizes a CWW project. CWW stands for Classroom Without Walls. ZIS organizes a week-long trip at the end of every school year for students to experience a different way of learning beyond the confines of the school. All CWW projects are driven by the following missions: learn, care, challenge, and lead. There is a huge variety of different trips to go on. These are once-in-a-lifetime opportunities for all students and are fantastic bonding experiences.
Sailing in Greece.
I was going to do the Venice trip.
On the Habitat for Humanity,
Nepal.
I signed up for yoga.
Alright, I think CWW is a great opportunity. A lot of schools don't get the chance to go and learn something outside of school or go and help people.
I don't really like the system they have in place this year because last year we were able to because we had a problems signing up this year because so many people wanted like one specific choice, and I think that if we had the system of last year where you'd have three choices that you'd like, it would be sort of easier to get in to your most favorite one, and then if you don't like it, you would be able to go to your second favorite CWW.
The system this year was absolutely terrible. I mean, there was screaming, shouting, crying. People were crying. I didn't get my choice. Oh. I mean, it was absolutely hectic in my advisory. I mean, I was just like, "What's wrong with you?" A lot of people didn't get their choice, so they go, "Oh, let's just do a redo, guys. That was just a practice." I think we should have just done paper like we did, like a lot of the 11th and 12th graders did last year, and also 10th graders. I think it's just ridiculous with all of the online stuff. So, yeah.
The sign-ups this year, it was really stressful because first, like, everyone wanted to go into like one specific trip, and then it was like full after 2 minutes. And so like a lot of people complained, especially the seniors, when they want to go on their last trip with the school with their friends to a nice place, and then like some small like 10th graders want to get in between. That's not okay. But I really like the system last year and also the previous years when you had three choices, and if you didn't get into your first choice, you were able to get into your second choice or third choice. And this year that's not the case. So if you don't get into one of the other trips, like, you don't really know what's gonna happen. You sign up for it like a couple of months ago. You signed in a couple of months ago, like what else you would like to do. But I mean, of course, like, what if your friends get into the first trip and then you don't? That would kind of that wouldn't occur. Like, that people wouldn't like that. And yeah, well.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, obviously this sign-up didn't go very smoothly, which isn't really anyone's fault because we tried a new system, but it was all very protracted, and I think that did cause a lot of anxiety, especially grade 10 kids who found during the first sign-up that most of the things that they had wanted to sign up for were already shut down. And then, of course, it collapsed. And then we had a couple of meetings in the theatre. For grade 12, I think it wasn't so bad because some people were doing their independent project, and others, well, then they had priority to sign up for what they wanted.
Well, that's definitely been interesting. The first sign up, our idea was to ask students what they were interested in and figure out how many of each trip we needed, and then go and plan that, and then just have people sign up. And well, that didn't really work so well. It seems a lot of people changed their minds from the first interest survey. So the numbers we thought were going to work well, and then to have some space to spare, well, that's not exactly how it worked out. So very clearly we just needed to go back to the drawing board and redesign the process. The second process works on the same principle. We want to really offer each student the trip that they're most interested in, because we think that that's when they're really going to engage with learning that's going to mean the most to them. So what we did this time was first do the sign up for the trips where we have no choice, where we do have to cap the numbers, which is Nepal, Tanzania, Sri Lanka, and Morocco. And so we asked students to apply for that trip, and we would use what we felt was a fair selection process. First grade 12 students, then grade 11, then grade 10, based on how that student had showed commitment to service projects in the past, to show that this was really something that they were interested in and dedicated to. And that went really well. Everyone who signed up got their first choice, and the trips are full, except for Sri Lanka, there's still some spots. And then we've moved on now to the other trips. Staggered it, grade 12 on Wednesday, and then grade 11 on Thursday, and grade 10 is signing up today, which is Friday. And the only reason to do that is so that if there are any tech glitches or there are any questions, then it's much easier with the size group to be able to just do it slowly, more calmly. And so far it's looking really good.
There are some students who decide to go on an independent trip. These trips are optional, however, they are known as the alternative for the CWW. These trips are independently organized by senior students. This project may be done individually or with a small group of students.
Well, I'm going to Myanmar.
And I'm planning on going to Iceland.
I'm doing it with Dominique Stassen, and we had a very strong tie with the newspaper, so something we were doing outside of class, and we really reiterated that in our plan. So
I'm doing it with Maya Forberg, and we really want to go to Iceland, and I think that came across in our presentation.
I think in some perspectives they were like some perspectives, and I think they really weeded out like the whole BS, so they could tell right away which trips were actual good trips and which ones were just island hopping in Greece. But also like I'm going to Myanmar, and Myanmar is a war zone, so.
Yeah, I do question that as well, actually, because if a senior wanted to go to Tanzania, they had an opportunity in grade 10 and grade 11, and this is their third opportunity, so I'm not too sure why they get priority. I do find it unfortunate this year. I offered two CWWs. There was no interest. There seems to be very little interest in, say, academic learning trips. I still feel that the system is not correct. For me, the CWW seems to be somewhat a holiday at the end of the year.
Paul Doolin has brought in a different way of looking at the CWW trips. Do students look at it as more a holiday or an academic learning experience? As to the sign-up process of this year, it was definitely hectic. However, there is always room for improvement. After listening to what everyone had to say, I believe that the CWW is an opportunity like no other.